Yo, what's poppin', guys? Today I got another updated Zefra list, this time another pile again, 60 cards, but we do get to run quite a few hand traps here. We got some Veilers, Stroll, Ash, Ogre. I only have two of Fualoses, so there's only two in here. Some more Nibs as well. And as with the last list, we are trying to make the fire slash light Chaofeng lock. So that means that our opponent cannot activate fire or light monster effects. And this is huge because the current meta is a lot of Snake Eyes, which all can't activate, Fiendsmith, which all can't activate, Blue Eyes, which all can't activate, Tempai, none of them can activate. So very nice. The problem is SP Little Knight kind of just despawns the Chaofeng. And it's kind of annoying to play around because if you try to negate it, then it will just chain the other effect and then still get rid of it for at least that turn, and then they can play. So that's kind of an issue. The counter trap does kind of solve this, but another way to solve this is to prevent them from summoning the SP to begin with. Bestials, also, if they get Jewess Worm, also kind of an issue because that will also out it. So why don't we just prevent them from summoning Bestials as well? And would you look at that, we can just make Protos Call Dark. And this also covers stuff like Branded, stuff like Memento, Tearlaments, I guess, or Sprite if you're facing those as well. So very nice. The only problem with this deck then is matchups like Crystron and Mermail. So I have some Crystron replays I can show you guys where I break the board. Yeah, and aside from that, I'm going to show you guys the combo off of Wakaushi because that's probably the most accessible and simplest starter. But the combo does work off of essentially any of your main combos, right? So if you open the red plus pink Draco Slayers, you get to the combo if you have any other pen in your hand. You have some symphonic lines as well to get there. Like off the top of my head, I don't know these actually, but I think it's like green plus DJ does it. I think yellow plus DJ does it. You have Synthes plus DJ should work. Same for with the guitar. So a bunch of those combo lines as well. So I'll be showing you a main line, and then I will show you guys some of the replays I have playing through some disruption, breaking some boards and stuff, and what this deck can still do. All right, I hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, help me out with the algorithm. I'm close to getting monetization on my channel, which I will promptly lose again because my streams are really unhinged. If you guys want to join the tournament streams, they're free to join. Well, the tournaments are as well, that is. Discord link is in the description, and they're pretty much every weekend with custom rules. All right, let's hop straight into the combo. All right, so I'll be going over the cards in the deck more at the end of the video. So if you're interested in that, be sure to stick around or just skip ahead with the video chapters. This combo looks like basic Wakaushi stuff to lead off with. We need one monster to discard. I just put in a nib because we're not using it for anything else, just to show how this works. I'm going to go for the Scarecrow, and our Soul Piercer is going to search for the Motorbike, or if you started the combo with Motorbike, you'll just go and search straight for the Wagon here. Going to pitch our monster that we have left over to bring back the Soul Piercer. Going to use the Wagon here to search for our Soul Peacemaker. And then we're going to go ahead and special summon our Scales from the deck, bringing back our Motorbike. Now, normally we would be doing some level modulation with the Motorbike, but this time we want to specifically keep it as a level 2, which will let us also link off our Soul Piercer to make an Elf, which is a surprise tool that will help us later. This is going to let us search for another Wakaushi here. And we're going to use these two bodies to make a Gallant Granite that is not in one of the link arrows because we need those to pen summon after we go ahead and search for our Zefrath. Now, if you're really afraid and you really want to put it in the column, it'll still work. You still get to most of the end board, but you will lose out on Baron. You only get Baron here if you have an extra Wakaushi or another level 4 tuner to summon out. So we're going to grab our counter trap for even more protection, link these two guys off for Electromite, and that's going to pop the Zefra to grab the guitar to hand. Now this needs a discard, which fortunately Electromite can provide for us here by drawing a card. And we're going to summon out the mics. Both non-machines are going to turn into Barricade Board Blocker, and we're then going to turn that alongside the mic into our Auroradon, which is going to tribute itself and 1 token to grab the O-Lion from the deck, go straight into the Denglong, and then we will add the Swanee. This is what the mics was there for, to give us the additional normal summon here. So we can now normal summon the Swanee, and now we have a Chaofeng that was made with a fire and a light Yangzing monster, so our opponent cannot activate those effects. This will summon out Zefra from the deck. Now, to make space, we're going to synchro into a Baron using the Wakaushi in both tokens. If you didn't have a level 4 tuner, you would skip the step, just have the tokens left over, and you would have 1 empty zone, which we will use the Elf to summon the O-Line into. And now, since we have a level 2 tuner and a level 6 worm monster, we get to make the Chijiao, which will then search for emergence in order to grab Protoss. Protoss is going to banish a bunch of guys from the graveyard and then call Dark. We will set the counter trap. So this end board, you will always, if you pull off the Auroradon line with the additional normal summon, you will always have the Fire Light Chaofeng, the Protoss for Dark, the Elf, and you will have a Chijiao with the Live Negate, because we do always have the emergence in the graveyard. Even if you needed to banish your Denglong or something in order to summon out the Protoss because of the attributes engrave or whatever. I think if you don't open super heavies, you can't banish an Earth because you don't have any. Then you'd need to banish the Denglong. But if you didn't, then you still have the emergence. So you still have the monster to get off of this. Then most lines also get you the Zefra Divine Strike because you run through Zefra at some point, or you can like Beyond for Zefranu. Make sure to always have one left in deck for Denglong to summon. And then if you also have an additional level 4, like off of the Wakaushi opener, you get to make a Baron on top of this as well. For our first replay, we're going to be going second into White Forest, and we do get to draw some hand traps because we are running quite a few. It's around the same as, I think, 12 in 40. Basically the same odds, something like that. So here they're going to go ahead and pitch a Thrust and then pitch another one. So now I feel more safe using my hand traps. Because there's no way they have another one, right? So this is getting ogred immediately, right off the bat. I'm not letting them search for stuff, go into even more of this. I'd assume a lot of their utility is also sunk into just the combo cost here. And now they make the Diabell, which will be the 5th summon. But then I see they add back Thrust, so there's no way I'm going to nib because they get to just search for a spell. So when they use Thrust, I am now happy. I think they end their turn here or something. So I nib here. And I have full knowledge of all the cards. So this means they can quick synchro once because they can unfortunately shuffle back a synchro here. And that's going to flip my entire field face down on the summon of Guitar. So I'm not going to make Beyond the Pendulum here, I guess. Let's go a bit faster. And I'm going to flip everything face down. Now, fortunately, because I haven't attacked with or changed the battle position of Nibiru yet here, and I did threaten to go into a Link monster, which they can't flip face down, I can just flip this right back up. Now we can go ahead and use Oracle here. And I'm going to grab Zefraxi because I can normal summon it. I could also have grab like anything else and just discard it for the Guitar. Doesn't really matter since Guitar will be getting me an additional normal summon and machine monster on field. And then I normal summon whatever is left in my hand, link into Borg, and then use Borg plus the mics to make Auroradon. And we just combo off a bit from there, clear the entire field. We don't get to go to the full combo with all the locks, unfortunately. but we could still make this work. For example, we could use the Denglong, and because we know it's a light deck, we use Denglong to send a Zefra to the graveyard and then synchro off with one of the tokens to make the Chao Feng. That way it will only lock light, but that's enough. This deck cannot play anymore. And we kind of just chill from there. Here we're going to open Fuelos and Ash. I'm going to shotgun the Fuelos because my hand already plays anyways. And this will play possibly slightly better around Talons. I'm going to have to Ash during the main phase probably at some point anyways. So it's not like that really matters as much. We're going to go ahead with the Smiger here, which I'm probably going to Ash because I think I really don't want them to grab the spell card, which then also has like effects in the graveyard and everything. It's kind of a Hail Mary. But Crystron is a terrible matchup for me because they are all waters for the most part. Now suddenly I get hit with the Galaxy Soldier discard Hybrid Dragon Hats, which will then add another Galaxy Soldier and a discard for it. And then he can go straight into his negate guy there. He has one card in hand, which isn't a Crystron, or he would have comboed with those guys. So I'm assuming it's a hand trap. And he's intelligently going to suck this guy up in order to not get mega fleeted here, because he doesn't know what deck I'm playing, right? All right, we open DJJ, kind of nice, but we're gonna have to lead with the wagon, which does unfortunately get Veilered. Now do note that this effect that is triggering is the battle position change effect, which is, doesn't matter how often I can just do as much as I want per turn, but I didn't use the search yet. So if I have some way of reviving this maybe, this is what we call foreshadowing, I can use the effect again. Now the consideration here is, do I want to link off into the Scarecrow? But the thing is, I have to Soul Peacemaker either the wagon or the Scarecrow. And if he negates Soul Peacemaker, I can still from this game state make the Scarecrow and play from there. But if I make the Scarecrow and he negates it, I have no more super heavies on field and I'm cooked. So we're going to lead with this and hope he negates it. Thankfully, he uses it now, which is a slight misplay, but nobody knows what my cards do, so that kind of helps. And now the Scarecrow can go ahead, pitch a card, bring this guy back, who can then equip himself from the field, sack this off, go into the Scales, which will now get the wagon, which we can now use to search for the Soul Piercer. Equip that here. We're going to make the Borg and grab a Wakaushi. Wakaushi's going to get us a low scale and another body on the field. And we're going to go ahead and make the Auroradon before we pen summon here. That way we can still scale the DJJ and then pen out the Wakaushi to the zone here. We've unfortunately already spent our normal summon, so we can't really go much further here. And none of my attribute locks are going to really matter either, if I'm being honest. Still going to grab this and then go into a Baron, because my play for next turn is I'm going to like clear all of his stuff here, right? Hopefully the Baron negate stops his turn. I'm going to probably have to use it on this dude here, right? To search. Swing for a little bit. And then during the next standby phase, I can put back the Baron. That will grab me the Denglong. Then I can go straight into another fresh Baron, normal summon the Swanee to lock him out of Veiler, Nib, Ash Blossom at least. And just have another beater on field that if he gets outed, I get to float into another hand trap. And it looks like he's not going to let me activate because the game has already been decided. And as a reward for my dear viewers who made it this far, I saved the best for last, which is of course terrible for the retention stats. So be sure to juice up the algorithm, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you'd like to see in a next video. And we're going to go ahead and fast forward them, making the entire full Crystron board here. Because I don't have any hand traps. But I have a pretty nice hand. Wakaushi by itself is full combo. Motorbike would be full combo. 2 DJJs, also combos. And we just have another machine dude left over, I guess, right? This could have been a hand trap. But honestly, with their hand, I think they'd be like 2 hand traps. So that's kind of the whole shtick of Crystron as well. It's a bit better to like just play breakers against this deck specifically. Alright, so they're going to have the Infinity here, and they have their back row. So that's going to be some pops. Those might hurt. We're going to draw into Guitarist, which is another nice push. And we're going to lead with the Wakaushi. If I put anything else in my scales, it will turn off Wakaushi. If I lead with Motorbike and they don't negate it, I don't know what I really want to add to keep extending here. So we're just going to lead with Wakaushi. And interestingly enough, they're going to just make the Baron here first instead of chaining Tristros first. I don't know. But they're going to go for Elasceletus, which is going to grab them some nice follow-up. And now Cluster gets to pop 2 guys. And it's going to clear the Benkei before I can even search for it. So fortunately, they do take the bait of the Motorbike, where I have no normal summon. I'm not... Well, I mean, I normal summon DJJ, but like I can't really combo with these guys without my normal summon. And I feel like there's just more value in this, especially since I've lost my low scale. So I'm just hoping he negates this, which he fortunately does. Baron is going to negate the DJJ, which kind of sucks because that would have been really cool to resolve. But this also does mean that there are no more disruptions and we get to go for a pen summon, albeit a smaller one. But Electromite, my goat, gonna go ahead, grab the guitar. We're gonna bounce these guys both back to the hand while I still can, and we're gonna randomly draw into a guitar, which is kind of awkward, but at the same time, also kind of nice because now we get to pitch. I should have pitched the tuner. 100% should have pitched the tuner here, by the way, so I can synchro better with it later on. But that gets us our mics, and now we can go ahead, grab the guitar, which we can then normal summon to bring back the DJJ, which could have been the tuner. But it's not like it matters, because we'll just make a Rorodon here. And that'll grant us a bunch of tokens. But unfortunately, since we did have to use a normal summon again, we don't have another one left over. Here I decide to tribute both tokens, because Rorodon's a bigger body and it gives me a pop. And I'm essentially just going for the line here and hoping I can get to Protos so I can call water, because his entire deck is water and that will be preventing him from playing. So we're going to make the Stardust Dragon here. And I'll bring back the 2 here. And here I was thinking, this guy does nothing. Might as well make the Stardust Dragon with the alt art because it looks pretty. This is honestly the flex spot. It came up this game, funnily enough, but I think you should... We'll get to that after this replay. Don't worry about it. So we have the Emergence now, which is going to get us my Protos. Summon this out in defense position because he cannot out it if it's in defense position. It is just too big. Call water. That's going to remove the attack reduction guys, whatever. So we have to swing over him here. I was contemplating making a Baron, but that just, it does not stop him enough. He has way too much follow-up. I need the Protos to stop all the follow-up. And Stardust Dragon, my goat, coming up clutch, beating out his cluster here. Baron really wanting to get rid of the Shizhao, so I'm not going to let him do that. And I really like to just activate the spell to level modulate. Maybe they get afraid. Maybe it jump scares them. I'm going to overlay this for VFD. Woo, scary. Anyways, they can't do anything. They decide to beat over my Electromite, which I'm kind of fine with, and then make a Typhon to bounce my Shizhao, which, I mean, is kind of annoying, but I get to keep Protos. Like, I don't have enough guys in grave. Stardust Dragon does come back because it was properly summoned through the effect of Axel, which is funny. Tristeros is a water. He summoned it. I get to lock up for another 2 turns. And here I was expecting maybe like a Dragster or something could have been an issue, but he goes into Samurai Destroyer to prevent me from killing him because it will float. So I'm going to just go ahead, normal the guy, make Beyond the Pendulum. And here I get ashed, so it's not like it ever really mattered. I get rewarded, I guess, for this, but I think I should have tribute summoned to Zefra over Stardust because that would keep me with scale that is usable and doesn't like Giga Lock me, and then Beyond can also get something else, and then as a high scale, and then when I pen summon, I have different levels in my extra deck. So I can just explode his board and kill him this turn. Yeah, fortunately, I didn't, I guess, because, yeah, I got ashed on it. But we're going to have to get rid of this dude anyways, because Elf can get us back our Electromite. Very nifty. And now we're just gonna pop this anyways, grab the guitar, random draw into Maxi, which like honestly doesn't really matter at this point. And we're just gonna set up a wall, set up some follow-up and everything. Can't really do much. You can't bounce any of my guys. He's still locked out of waters. And I'm just gonna, at end of main phase, I'm gonna elf for O-Line, which will give me another level 2 tuner. So when I flip this and get the search, I can just go straight into the Baron here. And then I should be Bing chilling. Unfortunately, I do get dropleted here, which is kind of wild, really. So he decides to swing over my links. I don't think this is correct. Me personally. Now, there's only one card left in hand. There's no waters on field, so I can't actually Protos call water because I don't run any waters myself. So I have to kill him this turn. Now, the good thing about playing only good cards in your deck is you will draw only good cards, and Wagon is my goat here. Gonna grab the Soul Piercer, equip this here, go into Scarecrow. I just need to multiply this into 2 link bodies, and the Soul Peacemaker is going to do that here by just trading this out for anything else. It's just gonna be a Wakaushi, whatever. Make a big Apo here, link this off. Remember, I did already run through the scales, so I'm only on one of these. And now motorbike here. I just wanted the level 2. Now I'm on like, I think 14 seconds or something. So I should have activated motorbike, made it a 4, made Baron with Zefra, and then probably like popped Samurai Destroyer or something and swung or whatever. I should have popped Samurai Destroyer and then like Protos called Dark to clear Typhon or whatever, right? Or other order because I can't activate Baron first. Yeah, but I panicked, so now I have to kind of pray. This guy gets a float, and I have to negate with Baron so I don't lose the attack, because this guy has 0 attack and I'm at 1700 life points. I lose instantly next turn. Yeah, so we're at 87. I would have been short 100 if I had to use the Apo. But I think I finished the game with less than 4 seconds on the clock, or like exactly 4 seconds. I don't remember. That was crazy. All right, guys, here's the part where I ramble about my deck tech choices and everything. So essentially, you guys saw the Aurora Online. That's what I'm going for. And the best way to facilitate that is to have machine type pendulum extenders. So of course, I'm going to be running the super heavies because they're broken. Why would you not run these? I'm only on 1 Benkei. I'll simply just not draw it. It's 1 in 60. Like, come on, I'm not going to draw it. But if I have 2 of them, I'm going to draw it a bunch. And then I will be sad because I really don't want to draw it. The rest is pretty standard. We got the Wakaushis, we got the Searcher for it. I'm on 60, so I'm on the big engine with a bunch of wagons as well, because wagon by itself also does the full combo. Same for the Soul Piercer. And then we need the scales to get those extra bodies out. And I am also running, of course, the Soul Peacemaker. I'm also running Stealthy. This comes up in, I think, Wagon and Soul Piercer starter lines. If you don't want to like Soul Piercer for an early Baron, which you could, but you need a few more cards in hand to still facilitate the full combo with Elf and everything, right? You need Elf to keep extending into Protos. Anyways, you need Stealthy just to get that additional machine body on the field for free. I would normally be running the other level 1 guy that's also a Soul, was like Soul Gaia booster or whatever, because it's more searchable, since Wagon and Benkei can only search for souls. But I just searched this off of my final Soul Piercer search. For my other Machine Pendulum engine, it's the Symphonics. They have a bunch of combos together. You do have to run the 1 Synthos as a brick, and they are only 2-card combos. But for example, green and DJJ combo off, you would was like normal DJJ, set the Synthos, scale this, bounce the DJJ back to hand, scale the DJJ, flip the dude, special him out, then the dude gets you into your guitar, which then discards a guy to summon out Mike, and then you like go into whatever, like Electromite or Elf straight into Rorodon, whatever, right? And you have your additional normal summon, so you're popping off there. It's you need like another extender, I think, if you want the full board off of that. But yeah, very nice. And if you just open the guitar, it's still Mike's Access free guy, very nice. Why would you not want this? It is pretty nice. Plus more low scales. Yeah, I sometimes have issues with low scales here. For the Draco Slayers, they're pretty nice. This dude is a machine, which facilitates the combo. These two guys combo together. I think red and this only combo if you draw something else, but I think pink green also. I don't even remember this. I'm not running Luster at Revolution because that takes up more deck space, and I don't necessarily want those guys. I ended up only drawing these two guys together, which was pretty interesting and also very convenient. Yeah, other than that, these two guys, you would scale both of them, pink pop red, add green special pink, grab Zefra Oracle, then you can go green, summon the pink, make Electromite, pop green, grab Wukalshi, win the game for free off of there, and also just have the Oracle to grab Zefrath for your high scale without having to commit into summoning or whatever. So you could maybe make like an Appaloosa before you go into even more plays with your Oradon. So that's all very nice overall. We have a bunch of hand traps, of course, here. As you saw, drawing them, very nice. If you don't draw them, just hope you draw gas and your opponent is unsure of what your cards do, which is, of course, a huge advantage on these pendulum pile decks. Who has unironically seen more than one Symphonic player in their last, I don't know, 7 seasons of Master Duel? I don't think anybody, right? So nobody knows what they do. Nobody knows how to properly interact with the cards. So that also gives you a big advantage. We're slimming down on the Zefra engine. We kind of need it to facilitate the full combo because Denglong gets to summon out this dude here. We have a backup worm, so I'm not on just 3 Zefranu, and I need a low scale in case I need Zefrath to combo as a low scale. And we're summoning all these guys. And then I'm only on 1 counter trap. I'm only on 1 field spell, so the Draco Slayer line can actually get me there. And then we have the counter trap for like an additional end board payoff. For the extra deck, it's all kind of, yeah, like you run through pretty much all of it during your combo. You can Axel into Baron early in like Soul Piercer lines if you want to. You can also optionally use the Axel to, as you saw, go into Protos. That was also pretty cool. This is definitely the flex spot. Stardust. I never ended up making this. Like, well, I mean, I did in that one game, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't think it has more value than something like SP Little Knight to help clear boards, or maybe even an Access Code Talker to like help close out some games, especially off of like an Exceed the Pendulum line, since you're rarely using this to achieve your full board. You are sometimes doing it, but like if not, you just have a big access code. Plus it helps you like clear stuff. You have quite a few different attributes that you have in the grave of Link monsters to help you pop stuff. You can also just go for another Synchro 8, such as Ignister Prominence for more of these lines and stuff. Maybe you want to, I don't know, Wukalshi plus some other level 4, go into Ignister Prominence. No, you need like a level 4 non-tuner, right? Yeah, whatever, right? But maybe you can use that to get the Oracle for Zefranu, and then it gives you a body more than Granite, technically. Whatever, right? It's like, this is definitely not necessary. I just thought the card looked pretty, and yeah, more or less. Also, Astrograph, it's like, I just put it in there because like penned and stuff. It doesn't really come up during your lines because Electromite's more or less always grabbing either Guitar or Wukalshi. There's not really any lines where you go for Astrograph, if I'm being honest. Maybe if you're running like Access Code, you can like climb into it a bit better with something like Electromite into Astrograph, into Exceed the Pendulum, into Access Code. But until we get all 3 of them for free, like released, I probably just wouldn't be running this, if I'm being honest. And when we get all the 3, I'd probably add the brick for it, and then we need to cut something else. So maybe we cut more Zefra cards, which will give me Crippling Depression. Maybe we actually cut out the Slayers. Maybe there's some more hand traps we can run. I don't know. Probably need more consistency cards at that point. We'll have to figure it out when the time comes, right? Yeah, and otherwise you can also cut this for some synchro 7s or synchro 10s. So you probably saw some board states where I had some tokens and a random tuner left over, and oftentimes I was like, man, imagine I could make Dragster here. Maybe if I want to go more all in on the field spells, I add Necro Valley, right? Because the Slayers can also get Necro Valley. Then I can use AFD or Ignister Prominence to grab Necro Valley instead of just the Oracle. Maybe I want to play Yazi, which would be a lot better if I'm also running Taya as a brick. But the way the line works out, I don't actually need the Taya, so I'm definitely not going to run even more bricks. And there's a few situations where I can just make 2 level 10s. So that's, yeah, I'm sometimes kind of sad that I don't have 2 10s. Something like a Cheng Ying might be really nice there, right? Anyways, I think that's enough rambling. Thanks for watching if you made it all the way to the end, and I hope you guys enjoy this variant of the deck as much as I did. See ya!